Oh, all that partisan selective outrage. I'm Bernie Bro, and let me explain away. The political discourse for the last several decades, um, about as long as I had a political thought in my head that was coherent, depending on who thinks I'm coherent politically. I have been used to partisan selective outrage. I was at one time and then an active engager and enabler of it. And to a degree, I probably still am. And I don't care how objective you are, if you have a political opinion, you are too, by varying degrees. But myself, I was pretty much a blind partisan Democrat. Everything that the Democrats do, which is sugar, spice, and everything nice, and everything that the Republicans did work is rotten and dirty and shitty. I used to think that way. No, I not become a Republican. I'm not a Democrat even, but I used to kind of look at things that way, and I see Democrats and Republicans now cynically exploiting any issue that comes along. Any national tragedy that happens or crisis, it's always the other person's fault. And pundits waste no opportunity when it happens. If a shooting takes place in a schoolyard or in a civic center or whatever public place a shooting takes place, I mean, you see the finger pointing almost right away. It's kind of like we can't just focus. Well, gee, this is really bad. What happened? All of a sudden with the Democrats. Well, we need gun control. It's obviously we need gun control, and then the Republicans. Yeah, they're trying to take away our guns. Guns ain't the problem. God's punishing America for giving rights to them queers. And so you get that back and forth from each other, and it's really tiresome. Or the more polished version of it is, you hear it from the Republicans. Well, the Republicans are not, they're not showing leadership and showing that to their constituencies and their fringes to try to keep under control. They need to show leadership. Or the Republicans will be like, well, they're Democrats being partisan again, and all they care about is their partisan politics and just blaming Republicans. Those damn liberals that they're beholden to the teachers unions and the Hollywood industry. See how it goes, and that's just basically on the red state, blue state divide. And then there are varying degrees, and it gets a little more and a little more toxic as the rhetoric gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Now, I do not want anybody thinking that I am for a second a quote unquote centrist, because I frown and I really don't respect centrists at all. So don't anybody think I'm a centrist. But then it gets a little more toxic as the further you go in the nether regions of the left and right divide. Um, you got your PC and SJW crowd on the left, calling out on anybody to just disagree with them, making them out to be a sexist, racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, alt-right piece of shit. That's what they do. They'll sit there and they even do it to people on their sides. Now, on the right wing side, don't think they're a bunch of free thinkers. I'm talking about the hardcore right. Don't think they're a bunch of free thinkers and that they're just tolerant of left wing views and what have you. They're not. If you disagree with many of these hardcore right wingers on an issue, let's say, you try to have a dialogue, and they found out that you're pro gun control or pro choice on abortion, or even if you are kind of okay with gays getting married, they're going to be like, well, you're nothing but a terrorist lover, and you're just a cultural Marxist, and you're just trying to take away our freedom of speech, you socialist communist piece of shit. So they do that on both sides, and there is no dialogue. And honestly, that kind of cancel culture, instead of dealing with these people, just like this 2020, I just write them off. I decided I'm just going to have fun with the silly people on both sides. Now, as I said, I don't. It sounds like a cop out to say, well, both sides, like a cut above it all. I am my own person, and I mean, I lean left on virtually almost every economic, social, foreign policy issue. There are nuances, and there are some areas where I might not take a typically left wing position. But even if there's a position, a minute issue here and there where I'm a little more sympathetic to a conservative point of view, I do it for my own left wing reasons. I'm not going to divulge into these views because that's kind of beside the point. And there are people who are on the right that are the same way. They might take the official position on any economic, social, foreign policy issue, what have you. But they might find an issue here and there that they may be a little more sympathetic toward a left of center point of view, or not as passionately conservative on that particular issue as they would be on some others. And so everything is nuanced, and individuals are individuals at the end of the day. And we are guided by our own individual reality, each and every one of us, left, right, or center. I don't care who you are. Some of my posts here on YouTube has been pretty angry lately. And if whatever your ideology is, as you can see why I'm angry. Um, One of my heroes has been cheated out of the nomination of a major party once again. So I come across as angry, and as I said, getting back to my leftism and everything, I don't want to sound like I'm a Dave Rubin or Tim Pool or someone like that goes around and just find ways to claim that they're on the liberal left more or less and end up shitting on the liberal left more than they do the right. I got plenty of complaints about today's left, but I still see more of a problem coming out of the right than anything else. Yeah, and it's largely on economic policies, foreign policies, social issues, and that's not every conservative. And some of them are going to be more reasonable than others. But the point I'm trying to make, and I'm not even trying to say let's all get along just to get along and be nice to each other and play patty cake with each other. Let's have civility. I am not part of the decorum police. In fact, I kind of frown at people on all sides that wants to be part of the decorum police. I mean, I'm all for debating ideas and all of that. In fact, I'm more honest about it than someone like Dave Rubin, who claims he's all about battling ideas. Now, Dave Rubin, I'm going to talk about for a second because, and I mentioned him before, mentioned him again. The man's annoying. I mean, every time I watch his program, or he would say something like, he would just say something asinine, and it's always the premise of, I used to be on the left because I'm now open minded. I'm listening to the right, and he'll have some right wing piece of shit on his show, like Steven Crowder, act like he's reasonable. I almost felt sorry for Dave Rubin when he had little Ben Shapiro on his show, and he sincerely wanted to be friends with Ben Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro basically just in his own way was telling Dave Rubin, "No, we can't be friends. You need to fuck off because you and your kind of people are very icky." I mean, that's what it comes down to. He basically make a homophobic, anti-gay statement in front of Dave Rubin at his house in his garage. Man, Dave Rubin, how can you live with yourself? I mean, but the way Dave Rubin is going, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and tell everybody he's divorcing his husband because he's no longer a homosexual, and and, and that's going to be his evolution. I mean, don't be surprised if you hear David Rubin come out as straight. But all kidding aside, and I don't know how much I'm kidding on that, I can actually see that happening. But point I'm trying to make is, yeah, there are jerks on all sides. There are reasonable people on all sides, but nobody's more reasonable than myself. I just felt like I had this compulsion to share this with you today. I am Bernie Bro. I want you to subscribe to this channel and feel free to comment, good, bad, or indifferent.